Welcome to Amagents Podcast, to our first episode of many. I'm your host, Les, aka Captain P, with my co-hosts and regular contributors to the show, Tinas and Joe. Tinas, how are you today?
I'm good, mate. How are you doing?
Good brother. Welcome to Amagents. You'll be a very strong contributor to the show.
Definitely.
You will bring lots of fun and laughs. Joe, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you, Les. How are you?
Good. It's Captain
Awesome.
P.
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot. Captain P.
Yeah, Captain P. Fantastic. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, all our guests, all our listeners, you may be asking, what is Amagents? Well, we are three gentlemen who are going to bring a new perspective to news commentary and discussion of current affairs in an unfiltered and fun approach. Number one, it's all our personal opinions. It's just good commentary of what's happening in the news, current affairs. We've got special episodes lined up. We've got great topics lined up for the next few weeks. And we've got some live interviews and live audience shows we are going to be scheduling in the next few weeks. So before we move into the next segment, I just want to share our socials. You can follow us on our website at www.amagentspodcast.com. You can follow us on the Podbean app and everywhere where you get your podcasts. Most importantly, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, again named Amagents Podcast. Follow us on our Facebook page at Amagents Podcast. That's all pretty simple. So share the podcast with your friends, share it with your family, share it with work colleagues. We would love your feedback. We would love your comments. Most importantly, we're open to suggestion. Give us some of your favorite topics. Some topics, they may be controversial. They may be life-changing, lifestyle topics. Send them through to us, and we would like to address all these topics. Remember, Amagents Podcast is your place for unfiltered discussions. All right, so let's move through to our main segment. So how we will run this program at Amagents, we have a time where we talk about current affairs and then we move to the topic. And for today's first current affair topic, it's something which was trending in the last 24 to 48 hours. It was the potential transfer of Kylian Mbappe to Saudi Arabia, to Al-Hilal. I'm trying to pronounce that correctly, with a large package which was being offered of nearly 700 million for 1 year. 700 million euros for 1 year. Imagine that. That would be a life-changing deal. I would take that for 1 year and move to Real Madrid. So I'll open the floor to Tinas and Joe. We'll talk about how Saudi Arabia is taking over the sports industry. They've recently signed up with Live and PGA. Again, caused a lot of controversy. Again, we've seen big players moving to Saudi Arabia. You've got Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, as a Man U fan, that hurt me, but I was happy for him to go because he was destroying our club. But again, we'll open the floor. Tinas, Joe, give me your thoughts.
Hi guys. Again, this is Tinas. I don't know how I feel about what Saudi Arabia is doing. They obviously have the money, but for the love of the game, I'm not really sure that's the right sort of approach to what they're trying to do. I hear it's mainly because they want to win the bid to host the World Cup. I'm not pretty sure what year it is, but it kind of just puts money above the culture of football. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Look, that's a great point. But my question is, how does everyone feel that only one particular league needs to dominate the field? Okay, no, we can't say one, maybe three. So the Bundesliga, the Premier League, and Serie A. We can even include Ligue 1 where Mbappe is playing. They're the ones who have been taking all the best players, all the predominant players. I would say it's a new market, new money. If they've got the ability to spend it, let them take the opportunity.
But look at what MLS has done. They've brought their game, that football, into the States in a very, from grassroots level. I think if I remember well, it started earlier than 1994, if I believe, but it's only now that we're hearing about, big players moving there. So it has taken a bit of time for them. And I think, countries like Saudi Arabia need to follow suit, maybe not as long as what MLS did, but then they definitely need something to learn, to, raise their structures and sort of just let people acclimate to what they're trying to do rather than trying to use money. What happens when they decide tomorrow that, they change direction and they say, we don't want to put money there anymore. Like we all know, they were trying to, they put money in golf as well. I'll leave you guys to expand on that. But then, what happens when they decide, okay, we don't want to do this anymore? The amount of people that are going to be, invested in that already,
Yeah. So from my perspective, I see it from a strategic point of view. You see what Saudi Arabia or Emirates will be doing in this instance will be to harness the tourism that comes with sport. You find that sport brings a lot of people, and their oil industry appears to be shrinking, with this geopolitics. So sport, they are now focusing on sport, but on the other end, it's going to affect their culture, because with sport, a lot of, people will be moving into Emirates, and the culture is distorted. But from a strategic business case side of things, it's a very good business case for them to get the Mbappes and the Ronaldos of soccer, so that it harnesses the power of sport into their industries.
Look, as Joe has alluded, we know that currently, right now, there's a big push for, electric vehicles, the whole climate change thing, which is another topic of discussion, which we'll have on our agenda here. But you see that, country like Saudi Arabia is predominantly, oil, which was their major, and it's still the major financial production, has to diversify. And the argument of, sports washing and the element of them doing it for some, way to divert some of their money is a ridiculous argument. They've built up that wealth over time, and that wealth can be used to go into other industries. And I say good on them. It's an opportunity even for lesser talents, lesser talents who play in the motherland, in the African continent. They can move to Saudi Arabia. They can get the income at that.
Yeah, that's a great point there.
Yeah. So income at that, at a bit of a higher level, because there are opportunities which are being expanded, rather than us focusing on the European leagues. Look, I'm a diehard Man United fan, unless something drastic happens, I won't be waking up in the middle of the night to watch a Saudi League game. But if the opportunity is there, let it be. But I think kudos to them. They've shaken the industry. They've shaken the market. Like we look at the golf one, the PGA, their chairman, CEO, he came up with some ridiculous statement about why players shouldn't take it. He threw some, very highly charged political statement. And then months down the line, they sign a contract, Live and PGA. They took the money, and
Yeah, money talks.
the players, the golf, lost money. Tiger Woods lost north of 500 million, which Liv wanted to give him, but he joined the crowd.
Wait. What happened? Tiger Woods didn't actually, because I was reading something that was saying he was offered something like $700 million. And what, he did take the money?
He didn't take it.
Whoa.
Because
Wow.
of all what PGA were doing. They were, especially when the chairman, I've forgotten his name, came out talking about a statement about 9/11, all that stuff surrounding the Saudis, which I thought at that time, and it's my opinion, was a very highly charged statement, which wanted to bring intimidation to the golf players wanted to go. And kudos to filmmaker Greg Norman, who said, stuff you, we'll go to Live. And lo and behold, PGA came, with their tail in between their legs, and they've signed an agreement. So, man, let's forget about what ideology is Saudi Arabia. From a business standpoint, competition is always best. And the European leagues need to face this competition. What say you, gents?
Look, man, it all depends on where you're taking this from. Now, I'm looking at this. If it's football, I'm looking at it from the heritage of the game itself. If we put money in front, which unfortunately, it has been happening more and more of late. But if you put money in front, then we're sort of eroding what, like you're saying, you're a Man U fan. You're sort of losing and eroding the essence of you supporting Man U for so long, and for being an avid supporter like that. You sort of remove it because it's not just about money. I mean, look at Chelsea, bro. I'm a Chelsea supporter. I still feel some type of way about how they're throwing around money over the values of the club. The players that have been there, they're just being sold left, right, and center, bringing in new players. I personally, it's about the game first before we. But I guess the argument is always going to be there that money comes first. So yeah.
My question is to Tinas. If you were in that situation, you're offered $1 billion to join Liverpool, but you are a Chelsea hardcore. Would you rather stay with Chelsea for 1 million or going to Liverpool for 1 billion?
Oh, definitely, I'm taking the billion, bro.
Yeah,
definitely.
So, like I said, money talks.
Yeah, definitely. Look. That's why I said at the end of the day, it's all about money. But we can't also, we can't also outright, what's the word? Forget that. Yeah, we can't forgo that.
Our values.
The passion about football, the things that make us love football, But anyway, it is what it is. Money rules the world, guys. So yeah, I guess at the end of the day, everybody goes for the money.
Yeah, and coming back to what you, Captain P, was saying, when there's competition, even I am a Liverpool fan, I'll still be supporting Liverpool, and there will be those matches, and I will still be supporting Liverpool even if they are losing.
Man, Liverpool has been losing for quite a while. But anyway, it's only the last 5 years when it's resurrected. So don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that.
You forced me to wear the Manchester United jersey.
Yeah, man, we don't roll like that. So yeah. So what I'm wanting to say is that opportunities have been opened in a larger scale for other people to go to these different leagues, and us focusing on the European leagues consistently doesn't make it worthwhile. If other markets are there, let people go and play in other markets. And that will improve, to my perspective, it will improve the world's game.
Yeah. Given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Improve the world's game. Look, you see, there was a lot of hoopla in this discussion, when players like Ruben Neves, signed. But when Steven Gerrard signed to be a coach in the Saudi League, there was radio silence. Most of the pundits are mates with Steven Gerrard, right? Most of the leading pundits are mates with Steven Gerrard. It was radio silence. Jordan Henderson signed, right? Radio silence again. So they nitpick when they want to make a lot of noise in terms of this discussion. But it's something which will open for comments on our Facebook page, open for comments on the Podbean app. How do you feel about Saudi Arabia? How it's expanding itself in the sporting field? Is it good for the world's game? It is the world's game, particularly football. Billions watch the World Cup final. So it is the world's game. And Kylian Mbappe was the highlight of that World Cup final. Yes, Messi won, but people always remember how Kylian Mbappe almost brought France to the brink of a victory at that World Cup. So let us know your thoughts, leave your comments, and we'll discuss them on our next episode.
But before we close on that, can you touch on the FFP? Is that FIFA Fair Play? How does that work out when it comes to teams like Saudi Arabia? Teams in Saudi Arabia, rather.
From FFP, what I know, it's in terms of turnover. From my understanding, it's terms of turnover. And with the Saudi League, because it's a new league, from my understanding, or a newer league which is developing, they are being given a bit more leeway to spend.
Are they being given, or it actually doesn't apply to them?
It applies.
It applies?
It applies. Apparently, it applies, but there is what they say, a special dispensation that they apparently have. I need to investigate that further, and then we'll come back and confirm that.
Certainly.
So what else have you seen, gents, in the world of current affairs? I know that was the thing which was trending. Furthermore, Man United beat Arsenal twice in one day.
Before we go into Man United business, brother, we have more important things to talk about. Let's talk about Messi, bro, joining MLS.
Oh, yeah.
Before we go there.
I'm not a Messi fan, but that free kick which he scored was a world.
Wow, my guy.
That free kick was a...
Wow. And did you see Beckham?
Yeah, Beckham was, in tears.
He was tearing, bro.
No,
huh?
Look, as I said, I'll repeat it to nauseam. People who know me, family, friends, know that I'm a diehard Man U fan. I was a Cristiano Ronaldo boy, but you have to tip your hat and say Lionel Messi. In my opinion now, he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I think he just exudes class, bro, in football.
Nah, he's the epitome. Hardly gets injured.
Yeah.
Delivers on the biggest stage. Every big stage is on his thing, and he's delivered. He hurt me in 2 Champions League finals. So I know the prowess of Lionel Messi, and I believe, looking at his stats, looking at what he's done, he will elevate the MLS. Do you even see the contract that the image rights has got with Apple TV?
Oh, how much is he earning?
Heaps of money. Look, there's money which is flying around in that football league. If I had money to buy my own team, that's one of the best investments I would make right now.
Oh, definitely, bro.
Particularly with TV rights and stuff, that is the place to be. So yeah, man. Look, Messi, we'll see how it is, but it was a great debut. It was a great debut with that free kick. It made noise around Twitter. I was on Twitter. I was scrolling up. NFL players, Patrick Mahomes, calling him the GOAT. Even, what's his name? LeBron James, was it?
LeBron was there. Yeah.
The resident cloud chaser was there. Miss K.
Miss K. And one of, I think it was his boy who got the jersey. He got Messi's jersey signed and all that.
Yeah, so, Miss K, she was there, the resident cloud chaser.
Maybe she's trying to see something.
So, yeah. So, fantastic, first topic. So, look, thank you so much. This is what we bring here at Gents. Hard-hitting, current affairs, what's trending, whatever is happening on social media. We'll follow it. Give us, everything which is trending. You can share that on our Facebook page. You can send us messages on the Podbean app. Just sign up to the Podbean app. That's free. You can leave your comments, leave your feedback on the Podbean app. And of course, you can find us on YouTube. Subscribe. Leave your comments on our YouTube page as well. So now we move to the main topic for tonight, the one which has brought us together.
Yeah.
Our first topic of many. It was a hard choice. There were some controversial ones which we wanted to bring for episode 1. But if we had started with those topics, I don't think we'd have had other episodes moving forward. So, the first topic, what are your thoughts? He's muted himself. He's laughing. We'll share the video file if you don't. We want your thoughts, Joe. We'll let him laugh. Look, we enjoy ourselves here at Gents Podcast. So today's topic, we're talking about technology and how technology and the increase in loneliness. Full disclaimer, I'm an advocate of technology. Technology has made life easy. Right now, we're all in different locations as we have this podcast. Our first episode is through technology. But we've seen that technology has, in some aspects, cut off that human element, that human connection. You go to the shops, we used to be served by a teller. And, she, whether it's a lady or a gentleman, you would have a conversation whilst you're checking out in the grocery store. Now you have to go to these impersonal machines where you have to scan yourself. And again, I know it's the advancement of technology, but that human connection has been lost. What are your thoughts, Joe, before we get to some recent information?
Yeah, so from my perspective, technology is very good. It has led to a lot of advancement, especially in the speed of communication and dissemination of news and everything. However, you find that a lot of people, they don't have that social inhibition that comes with face-to-face. And at the end of the day, you might find people exhibiting the worst of their characters or behaviors when it comes to especially like social media. So you find that no matter how much you engage with people on social media, online, everywhere, that cannot replace face-to-face. It has its value. And it cannot be replaced by technology. That's why you find that there is an increase in mental health issues, because there is no, a human touch.
Tinas, your thoughts? What are your thoughts in regards to, technology? We've put that disclaimer: technology is good, but some of the research which we've seen that there's been links between loneliness and technology. Some of us, we do some bit of research. It's not some wild talking. This is by the American Psychological Association. One of their articles from 2019 where they've spoken about those links between loneliness and technology. What are your thoughts?
Definitely technology. It's taking over. In all aspects, and the more it takes over, the easier things become. And unfortunately, human interaction is not been spared, because the more easier it becomes for us to talk over the phone, or to just maybe get in touch with you, whether it's a text, it's a what, the more that becomes easier, the more the less people speak to each other on a face-to-face. Like Joe was saying, it's very important that human interaction is very important, but the more we take it away, the more lonely people become, the more psychological issues people have, because at the end of the day, human touch is very, very, very important. Just hearing of somebody's voice, just touching somebody, just going out there and being around people. So I definitely agree. But unfortunately, that's where the world is going.
I'll play devil's advocate. As you said, technology is improving. People say they can have human interaction or human connection using, all the dating apps. You've got your Tinder. Someone can say they've got human interaction. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
You can have that interaction, spending time watching online pornography. Some will say they are more comfortable with that. We know the risks of pornography. But again, for some, they can say they are more comfortable with that.
Yeah. So I might interject a little bit on there. You find with the easy access that's happening, a lot of kind of microwave mentality has been propagating. And what that has caused is people are seeking that dopamine, that stimulation, from the quick results that the technology is providing. So you find that people are starting to develop they're starting to lack patience. They want everything happening instantly. And that emotional connection is no longer there. That's why you find that young men, they cannot even approach a girl because they've got their satisfaction. They've seen 1,000 beautiful women in less than an hour naked, because of technology. And you can talk to 100, 1,000 people with zero real friends. And there's no real emotional connection when it's technology. Technology is good. In instances, like for example, during COVID, you find technology came in very handy when there was isolation. You could bridge a little bit of a gap, but people, there was an increase of, attempted suicides, mental health issues, depression, because of that lack of human interaction. It's there in the research.
Yeah, definitely. I think what Joe has said regarding immediate gratification is definitely a killer, because the moment you don't know how to work for something, like say, even having a conversation with someone, you have to work for it, because you are changing ideas. So you have to think about what you're saying, and so the moment that you seek immediate gratification, you send a text, you want it back, you send a like, you want likes, you want this, you want that will eventually just sort of kill your ability to even just think for yourself or do things with other people. I second that. Definitely, it's a killer. But like we said,
yeah. Look, I think one of the best attributes a man or a gentleman should have with a lady is the ability to have a conversation. I think the whole DM culture sliding into the DMs. Some of us, we grew up in an era where you'd be like, hey, sister, how are you?
You have to approach the lady, bro.
Hey, sister.
Hey,
Oh.
what's up? What's cracking? What's rolling?
It first starts with hey sister, but in about 2 hours, she's no longer your sister, she's your friend now.
Yeah.
We grew up in that era, in that generation. But I see, the younger generation, they can't really do that. Oh, I met it through Instagram, I met it through that. Then, man, and then you see, the parcel when it's arrived face to face at the restaurant, it's totally different to, what was happening. So that human connection, I think that what technology has done has cut off that human connection. Joe said that during, the pandemic, it was good. We had the ability to go on your different platforms to communicate. It can help to a certain point, but as we move towards the stage where people want that adulation, people want that, the comments, the likes, all those things, it will lead to a place where you are now stretching yourself out of your comfort zone, which can be good, but you are now stretching yourself to a point where you want to gratify something just to fulfill the perception of other people. And if you can't continue to fulfill that, that can lead to depression, rejection, disappointment. And that, again, all leads up to a place where you close yourself back into a position of loneliness.
Yeah. Hey, have you watched there's a movie on social media, on Netflix, sorry, called is I think Social Experiment?
No, I haven't.
Has anyone watched that?
I haven't watched that
Yeah,
one.
it explores the dangers of technology, but you find that there is more good in technology than bad, but the bad gets amplified because of the accessibility of technology. So you find that, like what Leslie was saying, seeking that gratification, there is sort of a chemical that is produced when you have that gratification called dopamine. So you continue to chase that dopamine. And if it continues like that, it changes the whole chemical component in your brain. And that causes things like depression. And because now you are now lacking that dopamine because you are used to receiving instant dopamine from the likes, and then it causes addiction. Now you become antisocial because you can no longer talk to me for more than 5 minutes without looking on your phone to look for the thing or for the likes.
What phone do you use?
you know the I use an Ericsson 3360.
You're talking about
old.
You're talking about addiction. I don't know if you guys have seen there was some videos that were circulating on Instagram of children who, how we parents like to give children what you call this, iPads and things like that. There are children who were, after a while, they become so obsessed, or what's the word that we can use, such that when they're sleeping, they're actually addicted. Yeah, they actually start scrolling when they're sleeping. It's great. You guys should look it up on Instagram. Yeah, they actually, whilst they're sleeping, they actually just. Actually, I think I have a video on my phone. I'll definitely pass it to you guys. But they actually start scrolling.
We can also link it up in the comments there.
Yeah, definitely.
Captain P, we can have that in the comments there because it'll be quite helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put that link on our comments. We'll put it on part of our video description.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, send through the videos.
But that being said, though, so what? Is there anything that can be done about that? What are we saying about technology, about social media?
Yes. A lot can be done in the education side of things. Like you find that people, they need to be aware of the dangers.
Mm-hmm.
And there has to be an age limit because, for example, if we talk of social media like TikTok or Facebook or WhatsApp, it's like smoking.
Yeah.
So there is an age limit for smoking, and there has to be an age limit for social media.
But these kids these days are smart, brother. They can circumvent those
They are
things.
smart. They are smart. Take it away for 2 hours and then you tell me they are circumventing that. They will go into a rage. Uncontrollable rage. Because have you seen someone that has been withheld from their smokes? They become irritated, agitated.
Yeah.
That's addiction.
Mm-hmm.
These kids, they can use the technology in ways that I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
But take it away, they become an animal.
Yeah.
Because they're no longer able to control their emotion, their behavior. Because all they know, all they are addicted to is that technology. Kids, they need to be out there, kicking, running on the streets.
Yeah. Playing with soil.
Getting dirty. Yeah.
Playing in the mud. I'm trying to locate the video here, but I can't seem to see. But definitely, I'll send it through.
Yeah, my point of view, in terms of how we can improve, I think just having those regular meet and greets, catching up with people, going out, interacting. I think the human interaction needs to be solidified. We need to emphasize that. However, our children, I think Joe talked about age limits, using strategies like time limits. Go out and play in the park. We used to go and run around and play in the park, kicking around, soccer ball, or in our language, equation. Getting bruises underneath your feet on your ankles and stuff, those type of things, encourage that human interaction, and it never goes wrong. So, look, as I said, let's encourage the use of technology. Let's continue to always innovate. Let's always continue to motivate ourselves with technology. But let's never forget that human connection, because from my opinion, I've seen the more technology has improved, the more that loneliness has improved, that desperation, people have missed out on a lot of things because of that instant direct message. Or you've been attracted to a particular individual based on their airbrushed photos on Instagram.
I'm going to unmute so I can laugh properly.
Joe, the whole time he's just been muting and laughing. All our listeners, when I hear Joe laughing and enjoying himself, we enjoy ourselves. As I said, it's an unfiltered approach. It's not a news channel. It's commentary, discussions like this. So as we wrap up, what are your final thoughts in terms of this? What are your final thoughts, gentlemen, before we wrap up today's episode?
I think just in terms of this, like you just said, I think people just need to be careful of the exposure they're giving children to social media or to devices, because at the end of the day, like you're saying, like Joe was saying, some of these children, they get irate when you take away those devices. When you tell them there's a visitor, come greet so and so, they don't want to come out there, man. They want to be on their devices all the time. So we've got to be careful as parents to always, allow our children to have that human interaction when necessary.
Yeah, and also picking up on what Captain P said to even regulate, like if push comes to shove, if you need to give the kids the technology for playing games or for communication per se, you can limit to, let's say, for example, 1 hour per day or 2 hours per day, depending with your situation in your family. But there has to be a limitation.
Yeah, I think all that regulation, my final thought is it starts from the top. It starts from, the elders, the parents in the family, or if we're talking about family, or even just as an individual, limiting yourself, having that cap to say, hey, man, I've been on, social media for 2 hours nonstop. I've been watching TikTok or I've been on Instagram stories. I think it's that individual starting that as per se that, enough is enough. Let me go and interact. Let me go and catch up with people. Let me go and have a good time. And, going out to a restaurant, going out for a movie, going to the bar, having those type of activities.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever noticed that, let's say, for example, if you start on the Reels or on TikTok, you can start watching one video, and before you know it, you've been there for 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done that.
It's called logarithm, brother.
Yep. So there is no me, it cannot happen to me. There's nothing like that.
Oh, no.
Imagine if it impacts you as an adult. What about a small, immature, growing and elastic brain of a kid? It's more impactful. It's more disastrous.
Yeah.
No, fantastic.
But anyway, we need technology.
No, we do. Yeah, so to all our listeners, leave your comments, leave your feedback about this topic. How do you regulate technology in your life, in your children's life? How do you, with your spouse, how do you regulate technology? Do you have a no technology zone in your bedroom? I've heard other couples do it. So no, I see Tina smile.
Trying to work, bro. You're going to be working in that bedroom, brother.
No technology zone. Now we're speaking to the couples out there. Yeah? No technology, no TV, no iPad, no nothing. That's a workout zone.
I was actually watching a video on YouTube, on Instagram that was saying the same thing. Like, you need to make your bedroom a very conducive place for sleep and other activities, not social media, bruv.
Definitely other activities at the top of the list.
Now some of us, we are underage. We don't know which other activities.
Yeah, right.
Man, this is why we love Amagent's podcast. It's all about fun. We are unfiltered. We try and filter to some point to respect our audience. But look, thank you so much, Joe. Thank you so much, Tinas, for a fantastic first episode. Let's give our listeners a preview for next week. Next week, we've got a hot topic. I'll give you a preview. It's falling in love with the sex worker. Either a porn star or a prostitute. Whether it be a male or a female.
That one is fire.
That will be a fire discussion, falling in love with the sex worker. How would you feel if you child?
You don't want to miss that.
You don't want to miss that. How would you feel if your child brought you, man, my wife is a sex worker or my partner is a sex worker?
Wow, good.
Your sister, if your brother. It's a fire discussion. Leave your comments. Leave your questions. Leave your suggestions. Episode 2 will be fire. As I said, find us on our website, www.amagentspodcast.com. Follow us on the Podbean app and everywhere you get your podcasts. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Amagents Podcasts. Follow us on Facebook at Amagents Podcasts. Again, share the podcast with friends, family, work colleagues. Spread the word. I'm a Gents podcast is here. It started. We're here to stay for the long term. And to wrap up, for every 1,000 followers and subscribers we have, we've got some awesome giveaways. So follow us on our social media platforms and be in the draw to win some awesome prizes. When you subscribe, like, and follow us. Have an awesome week, and we'll be together again next week for Falling in Love with a Sex Worker. Have a good week.
Cheers.
Cheers, Joe. Cheers, Tina.
Cheers.
Awesome.